Hey everyone, I just finished my third and final stage prop for the big Easter egg hunt that's going on this weekend. And this one was a little harder because it has a little 3D element, but I want to show you all the steps that it took, so come with me.
Okay, so I printed 3 repositionable banners, 24 by 72 inches from CVS for this project. So this was by far the most ambitious stage prop yet. First thing I do is cut out everything. Now warning, if you're new to electric scissors, be careful. I have made the mistake and cut through my images because it goes so fast. After wiping down my 1-inch foam board, I need to perfectly position my very hip Easter bunny. Now making sure these images line up is crucial. You'll see what I mean later when I completely mess up. What's great about these banners is they are basically giant stickers, so all I have to do is peel them back and lay them flat onto my surface, using my squeegee all along the way to make sure I don't get any air bubbles. Here you see I wasn't paying attention to how far these bunny ears would stick out, so I've got to fix this. Using leftover scrap foam plus some Great Stuff spray foam should do the trick. I held the pieces together just for a couple minutes to make sure they were fused together before I went on. I peeled out the rest of the bunny and it went on easy enough. Now I used my hot foam tool to cut off the excess. The spray foam I added does take time to cure and harden, so I decided to use Gorilla Tape to make sure they didn't come apart and I could keep working. I promise this is not going anywhere. Using my hot trusty foam tool, we are gonna cut him out. You know what's funny? Every time I start these projects, I think, I'm gonna finish this in one day. And now don't get me wrong, I am getting faster, but still things take time. Plus I've got a whole life to attend to besides these fun projects. I finally busted out the wire tool that came with the hot foam knife. Now there were so many of you that messaged me and said it would change my life and make it easier for these detailed parts, and boy were you right. Moving on to my Easter eggs. So stay tuned because this next part I had to fix because I didn't line up the images correctly and it looked like crap. Now the first image was fine and it squeegeed right on, and here is where the problem started. I laid down the second image and I realized it was way off. So I had to slowly but forcibly peel off the already stuck sticker. Notice that I'm reattaching it to the sticker backing as I go. This paper's pretty heavy duty, so I wasn't too concerned about ripping it. However, I wouldn't recommend doing this more than once because the tackiness of the paper does get eroded. With that craziness out of the way, now I can cut out my eggs with ease. I'm leaving room around the border to use my wire tool to get the fine details. Plus, it saves me time sanding because it gives smooth surface cuts. I like to paint my edges, but for a lot of you, this step is not needed. To each their own. You know, it brings me joy, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Sometimes it's just the little things that make you smile, you know? Here I'm using fuchsia. This brand is called Apple Barrel, which you can get for under $1 on Amazon. I'm just trying to match these bright pastels on the Easter eggs. Next I'm using the color blue cotton. It's all coming together quite nicely if I do say so myself. Now moving on to the bunny head. Of course he's gonna be all white. Easy enough. Be careful not to spill your paint on the sticker. It's a hassle to try and wipe it off. Sometimes I get careless, go too fast, and end up with paint where I don't want it. Just about finished painting the pink foam board green and adding some dimension. Okay, so stay tuned for part 2 where I show you how to make the stand. Thanks for watching.